Hello, Marie, and welcome to Turbocharged Reading. And there are 3 questions today. What is turbocharged reading? Who can turbocharged read? And what do the turbocharged reading web-based tuition packs consist of? Well, turbocharged reading is not an advanced form of reading. It's using systems that are natural to you. Systems that have been around from the Bronze Age, that are verified by medical science and quantum physics. So you're using energy systems. You're probably not aware of these, but you use them naturally every day. You're using your body in a slightly different way. You're using your mind and your eyes in a different way. You're pouring all the written information, the pictures, the diagrams, everything that's on the written page directly into your inner mind. It is as if you open up your mind, pop the information in, shut the lid, and then wait. For an email, you'd wait a few seconds. The more written material you've read, then the longer you would wait. Say 20 minutes, half an hour, overnight, or if you've read 20,000 pages, a week. During this time, your mind forms new neurons which sort through all this information, catalogue it, cross-reference it, and bring forth what it is you require for that moment and that level of recall and memory. This means that if there's a selection of books, well, how do you choose which book to read? Simple, really. It's just a logical sequence. And this means that you're only going to be reading the books that are necessary for you at this time. And you might not even read the full book, because you'll be reading that book with an intent, a purpose to satisfy. How do you do it? Well, we've mentioned energy. Then the next thing is your body. You actually use your body in a positive way when you're turbocharged reading. You also get your left and right brain, your top and bottom brain, in harness. And you use your eyes differently. So these are all natural systems, things that you do every day without really realizing it, and they've been combined in this way so that you can read a book very, very quickly, with understanding, with memory, with long-term recall. So all these steps are naturally in the tuition packs. So you get your book. How do you get it into your inner mind, past your eyes, past your conscious mind and its gremlins? Well, you take a whole maybe 6 minutes doing what I've just described. A whole 6 minutes, that's all to get a 200-300 page book into your inner mind. You then let it rest while your neuron grows, and then you bring it into your conscious awareness. And there are different ways of bringing this material back into your conscious awareness, and some will just be quite natural to you and some you won't prefer at all. It kind of depends on the way in which you like to recall material. But in all likelihood, you'll use a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and make this book, the material in this book and the other books you've read, your own, for your own purpose. So, who can turbocharged read? Well, anyone who can read sufficiently and with sufficient comprehension. Now, comprehension is something we tend not to take any notice of. But comprehension is a different skill than reading, a different skill than writing, a different skill than spelling. So I couldn't read a book about rugby because I don't understand the positions, the plays, the language surrounding rugby. I don't have the comprehension. However, if I turbocharged read a dictionary, an English to a foreign language dictionary, a subject-specific dictionary such as accountancy, or Trivial Pursuits, now I could repeatedly turbocharge read those because there is a statement followed by an explanation. So that's inner learning coming out into my conscious awareness. Dyslexic people. Well, I'm a little dyslexic, but I can read okay, I just do other weird things. Dyslexic people can speak, form sentences, remember, do all that other good stuff. Turbocharged reading really comes into its own because all that written material zips past your eyes and your conscious mind so fast, as fast as you can turn those pages, that it doesn't have time to create problems. Also, the energy techniques we use when turbocharged reading are particularly advantageous to dyslexic people. People who are slow readers, people who have to go back lines, people who have to go back 2 or 3 pages, people who have poor memory. Turbocharged reading also addresses those issues, believe it or not, with a lot of kinesiology exercises, because as I said, we use your brain, your mind and your energy to turbocharged read. And some people quite simply don't read books because it takes them such a long time. Now, the longest time period you can spend turbocharged reading is when you read a novel. Because when reading a novel, you do actually read every word. So for the first full-length novel I read, I reduced my speeds by 2/3. That's not bad. And I enjoyed the novel, but what really impressed me was the fact that I could remember the plot from beginning to end. So turbocharged reading is for anybody who has a library of books they've not got round to reading, forgotten what those books contained. It's for anyone who is studying lightly or extremely heavily. I read of one person who poured 20,000 pages into his inner mind. It took him a week to do this. It then took his inner mind a week to sort out this information and bring forth what he needed for his thesis. And he wrote his PhD thesis at the end of the 3rd week. Generally, it takes people 6 to 9 months to do that. So it's for people who have to update their information on a monthly, quarterly basis. It's for people who do a lot of electronic reading. Emails, such a drag. Just let's zip through them. Be efficient. Now then, what do the web-based tuition packs consist of? I've been speaking to lots and lots of people who actually have reading issues, even though they're very well qualified people, very experienced people, but they still have reading issues. So each pack has 1, 2, 3 A4 size pieces of paper that are filled with type, print. These are then put onto an MP3 so that they can be listened to just once or repeatedly while you're walking or driving in your car, ironing, whatever it is you're doing in your life. These are then supported, not repeated, supported by what I call MP3 pluses. And the MP3 pluses are to deal with the gremlins that play between your ears. And there's about 4. There's procrastination, there's habit, there's unrealistic expectations, and for the life of me I can't remember the 4th. But the MP3 pluses deal with those. Habit, did I mention habit? I think I did. I've only written the 4th lesson, so there'll be 5, maybe 6 web-based lessons that can come to you via Dropbox. There can be feedback, individual feedback, group feedback, or maybe you don't need any feedback, because I take these steps very slowly so that I believe they're accessible and understandable to everyone. So, enjoy. You become a turbocharged reader. Thank you. Bye.